On January 9th, 2002, Ashley Pond disappeared on her way to the school bus, which was about 10 minutes from her apartment complex. Despite efforts from local authorities and the FBI, no clues surfaced as to her whereabouts. 2 months later, March 8th, Ashley's good friend Miranda Gaddis, who lived in the same apartment complex, also disappeared on her way to the school bus, which was about a 10-minute walk at the top of the hill. Authorities began to believe, obviously, that the cases were connected. They also started to look more locally and nearby, seeing how both of them were taken within 10 minutes of their apartment complex. On August 13, 2002, Ward Weaver Jr. called 911 claiming that his dad had attempted to rape his girlfriend. He also let 911 know at that time that his dad had admitted to the murders of Miranda and Ashley. Now, Ward Weaver had been on their radar as he lived right at the top of the hill. Ward Weaver's daughter was also friends with Miranda and Ashley, and they had both been over to his house before. They got a search warrant for his home, and they found Miranda sadly in a storage shed, and they found Ashley buried under a concrete slab in his backyard. Ward Weaver ended up pleading guilty to 2 counts of murder and was sentenced to 2 life sentences. Later on, his son actually also got convicted for murdering a drug dealer. And an interesting caveat of this is that Ward Weaver's dad was also on death row for murdering people, one of them that he had put under a concrete slab. I remember this case clearly because I lived nearby. This was in Oregon City. So this was about a 30-minute drive from where I grew up. And I remember how sensationalized it was. I remember how scary it felt when the girls first went missing. And one of the creepiest parts about this is that Ward Weaver was actually interviewed by our local news station. And he actually took the lady out, the newscaster lady, out into his backyard, and they were walking right over top of the concrete slab. And, at the time, I think he was probably on like the police's radar, but the newscaster was just interviewing him because his daughter was friends with Ashley and Miranda, and he was a neighbor. He lived nearby. So they were basically like, yeah, what do you think? Blah, blah, blah. It was super creepy. And I remember watching it at the time thinking, this guy's weird. Like, it's weird. He had a weird energy coming off of him. But how delusional and creepy to think that you're going to do this interview and you're literally just walking right over top of this poor girl. If the son had never called 911, I don't know that this case really would have ever been solved. I am grateful to the families that they were able to have some sort of closure with it. But this case always just kind of has haunted me because of how close it hit to home for me and how creepy all of the details were. And watching that guy do an interview on TV acting like he gave a crap.